Today I want to show you 28 minutes of CS2 tips that are actually useful. These tips can range from pretty much anything such as cool nades that you've never seen before, maybe an angle that you didn't know existed, or a shadow advantage that you need to know so you don't get destroyed. So I won't waste any more time and we'll get right into it. But before we do, I want to mention that these clips are taken from my second channel, the Austin CS Clips channel. So if you've already seen a few of these tips, you might have seen them while you were scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts. So if you want to see them before they're put in the compilation, make sure you go subscribe to the Clips channel. It'll be right here. And without further ado, let's get into the first tip. In market on Mirage, there's actually a really cool hiding spot, and if you aren't looking carefully, you will get caught off guard by it. Let's just see. Oh, we didn't find him in time and he's caught me. So we're actually on top of the shelf here. You can actually hide, and this spot has become a lot stronger in CS2 because now that this shelf is nerfed and you can no longer hide behind it because your gun sticks through and it's wall bangable, and you can see it's just a terrible spot. Don't play it anymore. This spot has never been better, and if you ever get the chance, as in you pushed out on T side and you're playing a post plant, you can actually just jump up here and you can hold anybody coming in through market. And the good thing is that they can't really see your gun as long as you're looking like this. So if anybody walks past you, you'll be able to catch them off guard, and you'll say that you learned this from an Austin CS video. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you learned it because somebody killed you because they watched an Austin CS video. And maybe they learned because they watched. Since CS2 came out, a lot of the silent jumps and drops have been removed, but one silent jump still exists, and that is the silent jump from Tetris to stairs on Mirage. If you've been around for a while, you might know how to do it, but for all the new players who need a reminder on how this works, if you're in the middle of a round, you can jump from Tetris to stairs without making noise, and all you have to do is just tap S before you land. So I'll show you it again. You're going to jump across, and right before you land, you're just going to tap S, and if you do that, you won't make any noise, and you can catch somebody off guard playing in this corner or maybe in connector. There's a ton of secret things that you can use to get an advantage over the other team, and I want to show you a few of them right now, starting with this gap in sandwich that you probably didn't know about. If anybody is playing in sandwich and you jump up Tetris, you can actually see them right here through this gap and get a clean kill onto them. Now I'm doing 111 damage, but that would be an instant kill. There's another cool trick that you can do, which is that if somebody is hiding in Firebox, which is what we call this spot in NA, you probably call it something else. If someone is hiding there, you can actually see their shadow on the wall right here, and if you see that, you can wall bang them right through Firebox for a pretty good bit of damage. And in case you're wondering, there's the shadow we're seeing, and if I remove the bot, the shadow is now gone. And the final trick is something I learned from Twist, and he was in a 1-on-2, and he jumped up on top of the balcony here, and when he jumped up, he could actually see somebody playing under the balcony and spam them for full damage. But there's also one more thing you can do, which is you can clear under balcony from up here and get a clean kill. Hold up, timeout. I haven't said the sponsor of the video yet, have I? Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. Now, if you're not familiar with SkinsMonkey, this is a trade site that allows you to take some of the old and crusty skins out of your inventory, and you can actually trade them in for something a little bit new, a little bit shinier than what you have right now. And it's really easy to do this, actually. All you need to do is log in through Steam, pick the skins that you don't want to use anymore, grab the ones that you do, and then click trade. All trades will pretty much happen immediately, and any balance that you don't use in your trade actually stays on the site for you to use for any future trades that you decide to do. And right now, if you use the link in the description, you can actually get a 35% deposit bonus, and that's good for up to $100. So let's say you deposit $100, you would actually get $135 on the site if you use my link. So make sure you check out SkinsMonkey, and let's hop right back into the video. If you ever find yourself going up cat to B on Mirage, you know you need to clear van, but it can be very difficult to do this because you have to expose yourself to so many different angles while you're clearing this. For example, even right now, I'm exposed to market window, I'm exposed to bench. So I want to show you a really easy way to clear this without exposing yourself to so many angles. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually just look through the bottom right here. There's a nice gap between the van and the wall where you can see the enemy and do full damage. And if you don't believe that you could get a kill doing this, here's a clip of me doing it on my stream at twitch.tv/AustinCS_. You should come check out the stream sometime.
Nice round.
But it's a really cheeky way to get a kill onto the B guy. I want to show you a really sneaky trick, and it's that there is a gap in the top of this wagon here. So if you're ever on T side and you're all alone and you're holding for the top mid push, you can actually see if somebody's walking up on you by looking through here, and you can shoot through this. It will do full damage if you can see them. And this also works on the other way as well. So if there's somebody that's hiding top mid, maybe you're running him down because he's the last guy, you can actually see them hiding underneath the wagon here, and of course you could spam them and do full damage. I want to show you a trick that all tier 1 pros are doing with smokes, and it's really easy. So let me explain it with the window smoke first. So what they're doing is they're spamming the edges of smokes very slowly with the M4, and the reason they're doing this is because if they do it very slowly like this, they have full vision around the edge of the smokes, and if anybody walks through the smoke while they're doing this, they still have full accuracy because they're tapping, so they can get a free kill. And you can do this with any smoke in the game. Another smoke that people like to do this with is that connector smoke that the T's throw, the one that lands like this. They get into this corner and they they tap the edge of the top mid smoke like this, if anybody's there, they're going to get a kill. Now, in case you're wondering, but can't they see the bullets on the back wall? 100%, but that doesn't change the fact that you still have full information. Even if they know you're spamming, they can't cross because they're going to lose the fight. Just because they see the bullets on the wall doesn't mean they know exactly where you are, and you still have the advantage. So it might even dissuade them from using the smoke completely. There it is. If you like to play this spot on Mirage, you're going to want to watch this because there's a reason that pros don't recommend this spot at all, and I'm about to tell you why. And that's because even though you might think you're safe from a Molotov under balcony, which you are if they throw it from ramp, the meta Molotov that people like to throw these days from on top of balcony will actually spread to you, and there is nothing you can do. The fire will go up and you cannot get away because you are so slow when you're on top of the bricks here that you will burn to death. But there are a couple of reasons why this spot is good. For those of you guys that already know, if you're on top of the bricks here, you can actually see people that are in towards Tetris, and you'll be able to spam them for almost full damage, so that's pretty okay. But other than that, this spot is not very good because, again, you cannot get a multi-frag from here because of your movement being so slow. So let's say I'm up here and I get the first kill. Well, I can't move, and that makes me a very easy trade, and that's pretty much why pros won't play there. Instead, they'll choose to play under balcony, where they can pick their angle, they can pick their fight, and more importantly, they can move around and make themselves harder to kill. And so that's why you should think twice before you use this spot. In the CSGO version of Mirage, you could actually self-boost yourself on these boxes right here, but of course in CS2 this has been patched so you can no longer do it. And because people can't play here by themselves anymore, people have stopped expecting it, which means that it's even more strong if you're able to get boosted up by a teammate, because again, people will not be expecting this. So if anybody comes out apps, you're going to have a really good off angle, and again, it should just be a free kill because nobody's expecting it anymore. So the next time you want to get boosted, instead of getting boosted on this ninja box where you're not really going to contribute to the round, ask to get boosted here instead and see how it goes for you. We already know that there's a lot of shadow advantages in CS2, but one of the ones that I think is the worst is the one in cave, because this one actually reveals your position before you even peek in towards the second part. So if anybody was actually on this box right here, you would have full info that somebody was in cave before they even peek you, and it's pretty insane. Like, I just saw him jiggle, and then if he were to walk in, I would have a pretty free kill because I'm expecting him. But this light is also really good for T side, because if anybody tries to aggress through cave like this, just by holding this simple angle right here, you'll see them before they even know that you're expecting them, and you'll just get a free kill. It's, again, really strong, and I highly recommend that you are aware of these shadows and try to use them to your advantage while they're still in the game. I want to show you a really cool setup on B site of Ancient that I saw Nico and Hunter use in a match that they played the other day, and the first spot that Hunter played was right here. Now this angle is really good because it's an off angle. If anybody were to walk up ramp, most of the time they're going to check this cubby, and while they're walking up, they will get caught off by this angle. Now that's all fine and good, but then this is where Nico stood that made this so strong, which Nico stood in CT and he held this angle right here. Now this is also an off angle, so what would happen is that if somebody decided to, instead of walking and being exposed to Hunter, and instead went the other way and they were looking towards long, well, that's when Nico would kill them from short, and this is a really strong setup to use, especially in late round scenarios. Now before you comment, but Austin, what happens if you get smoked off? Well, that could very easily happen, and if that does happen, then you just play retake and you still have control of long, which makes it a very strong setup, and I highly recommend you try it out. If you like the op A site, you probably should know about this sneaky spot on top of the box. Most people think that you need to jump on top of here and then jump across to get on top of the box, which is fine, but if they rush A, you won't make it in time. And so what you can do instead is you can actually just come up here to the corner, jump on this edge, and then do a perfect crouch jump to get on top of the box, and then you can hold this angle right here. And now the reason this is so good is because you can hold the deep angle, and if somebody were to peek close instead, you will see their shadow well before they peek you, so you can correct before they peek you. As you see here, I see this guy's shadow right here. I'd be able to aim down and then kill that guy instead. And of course, after you get the first shot off, you can back up and then you can re-peek, or you can run away and play your life. If you like to play Donut, you probably already know that this spot is really strong because of the amount of off angles that it has, but one thing that makes it very difficult is this spotlight right here, which gives away your position if you're moving around a lot. And the problem with this is that people can see this shadow and then use it to pre-fire you. But an angle that a lot of pros like to play, including Dong, is actually this angle in front of the donut here. And the reason this angle is so strong is because your shadow actually goes in the floor right here, this little divot, so you actually don't see it from mid. And then of course it is just an off angle in general, so most of the time people are not going to clear this, and you should get a free kill. Remember, pros are using this against other pros, so it should work in your games. On Ancient, one of the most common plays to go for is to spam somebody planting the bomb come through this wall, but a lot of times people just miss this because they don't know the secret trick, but I'm about to show it to you. And the secret trick is to just use your eyes, because you can actually see the pillar through the top of the wood here. So if you know somebody's planting, you can line it up and then spam somebody that's planting through here. That's the trick that I use, as well as all the pros. If you play B site on Anubis, you might know that this site doesn't really offer a lot of good cover for you to use. So I want to show you a cool pop flash that you can use that will absolutely dominate anybody that's coming into the site, and it's really simple. So whenever we think that the execute is coming in, we're going to stand behind this pillar and we're going to look right here. Now we're looking for the bottom of this specific black line. Now to avoid confusion, the way I remember this is I look for the start of this shadow right here, or I guess you can look at the top or where the sun ends, whatever, and whenever you're ready, you're going to give it a left click throw. Now the best part about this flash is that it actually lands behind the pillar, so you could peek with it and it actually won't blind you, and it also won't blind any of your teammates that could possibly be fighting, maybe back default, or maybe even CT, so it's really good for that. And of course, the other team can only see, well, nothing except for being blind. I'd be willing to bet that you're trolling if you play B-site Anubis, because most of the people that are newer to the map, they start their round by throwing this smoke right here. And you might think, Austin, that makes a lot of sense. I would smoke B main because then they can't peek into the site and it helps us kind of move around. And I do agree with you that it makes sense, but at the beginning of the round, it is very troll, because what can happen is the T's can use this smoke against you to cross to this side right here, where they can really annoy your E-box or cave player. And the reason that is because let's say this guy's playing here and he wants to rotate out. Well, if you smoke B main, there could be somebody on the right side that you can't see if you're playing site, so it is very troll. Also, the T's like to throw the lurk smoke that lands right here, and if they throw that smoke, that's also designed for them to do this very thing, and then they can also use it against you. So don't do them any favors and stop smoking B main at the beginning of the round. If you're playing Anubis a lot and you want to annoy the opper that's always starting stairs, I want to show you a really cool nade that you can throw every single round. Before, I used to tell you about this lineup right here that you would throw whenever you would start the round, but the problem is that there is a weird clipping that will sometimes happen where you will get stuck on the wall just like that and it will send you off the edge. So I want to show you the new lineup that you should be using, which is just like this. You're going to jump on the opposite side of the wall here. You're going to aim in the bottom right corner of this brick, and then you're going to run and jump throw just like before. And anybody that's going to be playing over here towards this staircase, they're going to take a decent bit of damage. I just took 34 right there, and you can even tweak this lineup a little bit if you want. You can throw it a little bit lower. Just be careful that you don't hit this wall and nade yourself. I've seen that happen way too many times. Anubis B site can be extremely difficult to hold, but I want to show you one of my favorite setups really quickly, and that's that setup right here in towards jail. Now what we're looking at is an interesting little stack where one player is going to be looking through the legs of another player on top of this stone, and it's really easy to set up. I don't even need to show you that. And from the enemy POV, peeking into this is like instant death, and even if they do get one kill, they're only going to get one kill. Now you might be thinking, Austin, there is a big problem with this setup, which is that there could be somebody coming from E-box or cave if you're from EU. And that is 100% true. So make sure you talk to your teammates and make sure that somebody's covering that so that you can run this setup. Yes, you could get flashed, you could get smoked, you could get mollied. This is Counter-Strike. That's always going to be an option. So make sure you use this setup very, very carefully. Don't use it every round. If your teammates lose A on Anubis, you can actually throw really cool flashes to help them stay alive or to retake the site while you're rotating from B. And the flashes go a little bit something like this, or if you're on the beach, you could throw them like this. And what happens is because A site is completely open, this roof here is exposed, the flashes will actually blind pretty much anybody that's fighting from the T side. So if we're sitting here pillar and we're scaling out, I'm getting blinded, which would allow my teammates to re-peek from heaven, half wall, camera, maybe they're still alive, back cake, and they can get one more kill. And these flashes are really good even for people that are coming from A main. They are also getting blind. Now I haven't seen any pros throw this yet, but I can only imagine that based off of this discovery, we probably will see them eventually, or probably pretty soon, getting thrown. I didn't even know about this until somebody showed me that the roof of this A site, that is, was open. So yes, I highly encourage you to try it out. One of the strongest smokes to throw on Dust 2 is the fast B door smoke that you throw when you want to rush B, and it's a lot easier than you think it is to throw this, so let me quickly show you. So what you're going to want to do is that when you're in T spawn, you're going to line up on the curb right here. Now the way I remember this is it's in front of this part of the building here, and you need to remember that because because we're actually going to be aiming right above it. Whenever you're lined up on this part of the curb, you're going to aim above the generator up to this part that sticks out of the wall like so, and then you're going to run and jump throw when your crosshair crosses the roof. So if you do it all together, it'll look like this. The smoke is going to fly through the air, and of course it will perfectly land to smoke off B door, as you already saw. Now the best part about the smoke is that the more you practice it and the faster you get, the less you actually have to look at the lineup. It is super loose, like I said, so you don't even really need to stand in the exact spot that I showed, and it will still land every single time as long as you practice it. I want to show you a really cheesy smoke that you can use to smoke B doors from long. So let me show you how it's done. So let's say we took long at the beginning of the round, and now you want to smoke B doors. You're going to get stuck into this corner right like so, and aim at the top right of this window, and whenever you're ready, you're going to give it a jump throw. Now the reason that this could be useful is because let's say you took long by yourself and your team wants to go B. Well, you could throw this smoke from long and it will look like you're faking, or because it lands so fast, you could actually help them execute B from long and then be on a really insane lurk. If you play B on Dust 2, I want to show you a really strong off angle that you can use to get a free kill every time. So all you're going to do is after you've thrown your Molotov or your smoke in towards upper tunnels, you're going to find yourself behind this barrel and you're going to line up on the back part like this. Now the reason we're here and the reason that we're crouched is because if we're standing here and somebody comes out tunnels without their team, they might get caught off because you could peek them while they're clearing something like door and you could get a free kill. And the reason that you're going to be crouched is because when you're crouched here, any flash that is thrown in the left side door here for people that are coming out actually won't blind you. So you can get a free kill on somebody who's coming out, and then after you get the first guy, you could swing out and surprise somebody else. If I told you that it was possible to Molotov these bricks from inside tunnels, you probably wouldn't believe me. But the other day I was watching Vitality play, and Apex actually had a really cool lineup that I've never seen before, so let me share it with you. What he did was he lined up on this part of the wall by looking at this second stick on the ground, just like this. It's a really easy way to line up, and then after that he turns around and he looks for this little stain on the wall, puts his crosshair on the left side, and then he gives it a tap W jump throw, and as you can see, the Molotov will bounce off of a wooden board and spread down to get anybody on top of this annoying bricks. And this can be really good on ecos when people want to use shotguns, MP9s, 5.7s up on this part here, and it's a lot easier to come into B when you don't have to flick up. Long on Dust 2 is one of the more difficult places to take as a T, so I want to show you the best flashes that you could throw to support your teammates. So all you're going to have to do is have them drop the flashes right here on this corner, and whenever they're ready to go out, or at 149 in the round, which is the timing that the best CT spawn can peek you, you're going to throw this flash right here. You're going to aim at this stain on the wall and then jump throw. As you can see, the flash will fly over and it will not blind your teammates that are fighting, and it's a pretty decent flash for blinding anyone peeking. So you can throw this flash to help your team take long. I have one more lineup that you might want to know, which is that if your team is going out later than 149, you can actually throw this flash above the door. And the difference between the one that I just showed you and the one that I'm showing you now is that this one will blind a lot more people that are looking at the door, and it has a better chance of helping your team get out long later in the round. Everybody knows that shadows are insane in CS2, and there is a lot of shadows on every map, but there's a couple that I bet you don't know about that could be giving your position away, such as the light in lower tunnels. Most people probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you walk into lower, you actually have a shadow on the wall that could reveal your position. For example, if you want to peek towards top mid, a normal fight right here, maybe you push lower early in the round, well, anybody that's coming up cat can see you well before you have a chance to see them, and then they can pre-fire you. And I have a feeling that this is leading to a lot of people thinking that there's an influx of cheaters, when in reality, your shadow is just showing on the wall. So make sure that you turn your shadows on high so that you can see these ones. If I told you that there was a new secret Inferno wallbang, would you believe me? Well, you should, because today I want to show you an Inferno wallbang that you probably haven't seen, and it's for somebody standing in this corner right here. Now, this is a very rare occurrence, but if you ever find yourself in this situation, you might want to know it. So watch this. If we think somebody's on the right side, which does happen pretty often, we can take our op and we're going to get into this corner here. Now, in case you're worried, there is no risk of getting spotted from T steps. I can't see this person going for this wallbang. The only way I'd be able to see them is if I was here, and you would hit that shot anyway. Once you're standing there, you're then going to look for this garage door here, because this is what we're going to be shooting through, and we want to make sure the top of our ob crosshair is lined up with this light bulb, and you're going to aim about person height. You don't want to aim too high, you don't want to aim too low, you want to aim about person height, and make sure that your crosshair is again in the center of that light. And whenever you're ready, you're just going to left click, and there you go. There's a nice wallbang that's going to go through this door and this garage door. If you aim a little bit higher, you'll headshot them and it will instant kill them. In the newest version of CS2, we know that pit and mini pit got pretty heavily nerfed, But they did add 2 new angles that you can use to hold moto, and I want to show you the one in pit first. Now, if you guys don't know, there's actually a nice little sliver here that you can hold from in pit that you can see moto, and if I actually go into moto right now, I bet you probably won't even see him holding pit here. And now you might think, Austin, there's no way I'm ever going to hit that shot on either side, but I beg to differ. A lot of pros are getting they're getting kills through this because they're pros, but they're also getting information. And what can happen is you can see somebody walking into moto, and then you can use your peeker's advantage to get the kill. Now the next angle is in mini pit, and it's kind of similar, but it's going to be using this little wooden board that's leaning up against default, and you can use this to hold for anybody walking moto. Now this one's not as hard to see, but it is hard to kill. As you can see here, I can't really see anybody through this, and of course on the other side you have a pretty good fight. If you're playing CT side Inferno, you might sometimes lose control of this area of banana, which is called top car. So I want to show you a little utility set that you can use to retake this area, and it's used by all the pros. So you're going to get on top of oranges here and line yourself on top of this pipe like so, and once you find yourself here, you're going to look up and you're going to put your crosshair on top of this long pole holding up the scaffolding. You're going to give it a middle click throw. Now of course middle click is when you hold both buttons and let go at the same time, and once you do that, you're going to then take a Molotov and aim to the right of this black line right here, and then give a left click throw Molotov. And as you can see, we're going to have a perfect utility set to retake the top area of banana. The reason this set is so good is because they cannot boost behind this half wall to see you, and the only place that they can stand is right here behind the car, and you can just give that an easy little wall bang. If you want to rush B, you probably want to know how to smoke CT right away out of spawn, so let me quickly show you how to do it. Whenever you're running out of spawn, you're going to get stuck onto this right part of the barrel here, and you're going to find this antenna. You're going to aim a little bit out to the right, that way you don't hit the wall, and then you're going to walk and jump throw when your crosshair crosses this roof, and if you do it right, it should look a little something like this. Now while that smoke is flying through the air, we can also make our way into banana just in time to throw a flash over for our teammates right here. This would be the God Flash, and there you have it. We have a nice little B play that we could do. Again, the timings could be a little weird for that flash, so if your teammates get slowed down by mollies or nades, the flash could be good, but if they don't, you don't want to do this because you will blind your teammates. A lot of people don't actually know that Nuke is one of the most wall bangable maps in the game, and I want to quickly show you 3 really useful wall bangs that you can use in any given round, and we're going to start with a wall bang in towards hut. Now, if you ever suspect somebody's playing inside close hut here, maybe they have a shotgun, maybe they have a Zeus, you can actually do a really easy wall bang to clear this angle out, and it's pretty straightforward. So you're just going to find yourself around this area, aim at the top right of this sign, and you're going to just tap, and if it's a headshot, you're going to obviously hear the dink, but if you don't hear anything, you can also aim a little bit lower just in case they're crouched, and that's the first one. The second one is for anybody that is pushed into this close angle here. It's pretty easy. Again, you're just going to look for this right part of the wall, and you'll shoot them through it just in case you think there's someone there. And the last one is for someone playing Tetris. This spot's pretty common in the lower levels, but the wall bang is really easy. All you're going to do is find yourself in hut, look for this second floor panel on the right, because that's going to be the lineup we're looking for, and you're just going to shoot right above it, and anybody in Tetris is not going to be having a good day. There's a really big misconception on Nuke, and it's that these garage doors are spammable. You might think that they are. You've even seen pros try to go for a wall bang through this garage door, but I'm here today to tell you that that actually is not possible. If you look right here, you can see the bullet does not go through the door. So the next time you're trying to wallbang somebody playing on the other side, you can't actually do that, and you're just giving away your position. I've even seen people try to do this at the A site, but that also does not work. If you need to rotate down vent, everybody knows that it can be a death trap, because if somebody is down here waiting for you, you will have no chance because you're not even accurate. So let me show you a really cool flash that you can throw down the vent that a lot of pros like to use, and it's pretty insane. So what you're going to do is whenever you're ready to go down the vent, you're going to line up right here on this box, and then you're going to aim at this line on the vent, and whenever you're ready, you're going to give it a jump throw, and you're going to quickly run and jump in the vent. As you can see, the flash will perfectly blind anybody holding here. So let's just say I'm here, and now I'm blind, and now I'm dead, and you've just learned a really good pop flash. If you're an A player, sometimes the outside players need help, and there's no way for you to throw any flashes or any utility to assist them, right? Well, actually, that's not true, because there is a really cool flash that you can throw to help your outside players fight, and it's super easy. So whenever they need help and you want to flash for them, you're going to get stuck on the back part of this silo and break this window. Then you're going to aim at this loop in the wire here, just like so, and give it a jump throw. And as you can see, the flash is going to go through the window, and anybody that's outside fighting your teammates will be full blind. And you can also use this for people to fight from mini, so or main if you're an EU. But this flash is really good because it won't blind them, and anybody anybody that's outside in this area will be getting full or half blind. On B site Nuke, we've all been in that situation where the bomb is planted at Astralis and the CTs are defusing and we're stuck in towards ramp. Now in this situation, typically you feel like you can't win unless you go out and peek the person defusing, but this is really hard, especially since they have a shadow advantage on you. So I want to show you a way to molly the bomb or to nade it from this right side. And when you first look, it might not be apparent because you think anytime you want to molly it, it's just going to go too far, but there's actually a really easy way to do this. And all you're going to want to do is look for this part of the bars here. It is the second cross of the bars, and then whenever you find that, you're going to give it a left click throw as you do right here. It's going to bounce off of this part here and perfectly cover all of the possible diffuse spots. And this also works really well with an HE as well. So again, when that nade bounces down and hits the person defusing the bomb, it'll also give them that tinnitus effect where they can't hear in-game sounds. So you can take advantage of that and use it to peek in towards the site without them being able to hear you. If you're a mid player on Vertigo, I want to show you this really cool HE grenade that you can use at the beginning of every round that'll absolutely destroy anybody trying to come in mid on T side, and it's really simple. So out of spawn, you're going to immediately jump onto these boards right here, and once you get up, you're going to crouch and aim at the top of the orange part of this net here, and then immediately left click throw. Now you're going to want to throw this pretty early in the round, otherwise it might miss. As you can see, the nade is going to immediately land in mid main here, and anybody that's coming in is just going to get destroyed for about 50 damage. And the best part about the lineup that I just showed you is that it also works with a flash. So if you're on an eco or maybe even a gun round, you can throw this lineup as a flash for a teammate to peek and kill this person holding the generator. I want to show you how to take ramp like the pros do, and it's going to start out of spawn. You're going to line up right here on this wooden part of the board. Then you're going to look under the right part of this light till you get your crosshair here. Then you're going to run and let go when your crosshair crosses the edge of the room here, and then it'll look like this. Of course, that will be a bottom yellow smoke, and it's very nice for your teammates to be able to peek in towards ramp. But we're not finished yet, because after you let go of that smoke, you're going to immediately stop and then give it a tap W right click jump throw right here at the bottom of this part of the orange. So again, we're jump throw with the right click, we're going to tap W at the same time. It's a pretty hard throw, but if you do that, you're going to get a Molotov that lands in the middle of ramp here. And as you can see from the T's perspective, they're going to walk into a smoke here and a molly here, so they can't really progress. And then of course you can pair this utility with a flash over and somebody can peek and you'll be having a very good time. So hopefully that makes Vertigo a little bit easier. Since CS2's release, there has been a glitched wallbang on Vertigo where you can take an op and actually wallbang through this white pillar to headshot. And as you can see here, I'm doing 216 damage. That would be an instant kill, and anybody hiding headshot will not be happy. This could be really useful, especially if you know you're playing somebody who likes to play the headshot angles. Maybe he's holding side haul from here and you hit him with a little wallbang. And if you don't think that this is possible to hit in games, here's a clip of me hitting it just the other day. Dead headshot. So as you can see, it's pretty strong if you use it correctly. You should definitely try it out if you get the chance. If you know somebody is playing this angle in mid on Vertigo, you can actually wallbang him from elevator, and it's a pretty simple lineup. So what you're going to do is out of spawn, you're going to line up with this part of the board here, and then you're going to put your op crosshair in this position. So I line up the left side with this line, and of course the middle part in this button. And whenever you're ready, you're just going to give it a shot through. As you can see here, that will 100% take this guy out. And it's also better than that because you can also get people who are walking up mid here. It's a pretty strong line that you're shooting through, but if you're not hitting anybody, of course, you can get a little bit experimental with the lineup. We can go a little more to the left, we can go a little more to the right, and you can get all of the different angles on this generator. If you are on Vertigo bottom A ramp, there is a really annoying shadow advantage that you can use to hold flank, and you can get a lot of free kills by holding this angle here. As you can see, I knew he was coming well before he even showed up, but this is even more insane because you can hold the flank from all the way in bottom A ramp. So if you think that somebody could be coming from bottom ramp, you can sit here and I can tell that somebody's coming and I can pre-fire him well before he's expecting me. And you can see where this could be a problem for the CTs that are going on flanks, because they just have no chance in the round if they want to come this way. As long as somebody has eyes on it, they will know you're coming before you know that they know. So it's kind of broken. So I would just recommend going the other way unless you know that they're not expecting you. So if you did learn something, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about shadows and all of the other things about the game. And that's all I have for you today.